Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to this premium review of the G55S, the new Italian premium released in patch 1.69. Fantastic plane. I really had a lot of fun in this plane, flying it out on the first day of the patch. The plane has a very good dive speed and a good top speed in the dive. Its handling in the dive is fantastic as well. Really enjoyable, but the plane is not fast in a general sense. The plane has good climb rate and it definitely needs altitude to perform. It needs to get up the altitude and start from there, thus ideally suited for boom and zooming, but we'll get back to that. The plane has decent acceleration and is very maneuverable when fast. When it's slow though, it goes to the other side and the roll rate becomes much worse and it becomes less maneuverable. But when it's fast, it's very maneuverable and you can even surprise Spitfires with its maneuverability. It has a great armament in the form of three 20mm cannons, 2 in the wings with 200 rounds and 1 in the nose with 250 rounds, totaling 650 rounds. These are MG.55S, the German 20mm cannons, and they are full of Minengeschoss, which is fantastic for finishing power. These are one of my favorite 20mm in the game, always have been, and I'm very glad that the Italians mostly carry these guns. Fantastic, 3 of them even. So I would even say that the firepower is better than its contemporary planes in the German line. Although the 13mm on the Germans are very good as well. But 3 20mm MG.55S without gun pods, I mean, blessing. God damn it, man. That is fantastic. Really great. This is what you would want in your BF-109. I mean, this plane is pretty similar to the BF-109, but it doesn't have gun pods you can't take. No, it has 2 in the wing and 1 in the nose. It's brilliant. I like it. What you do want to take into account is a bad roll rate when it's slow, and the maneuverability, the turn time also suffers when it's slow. So that maneuverability that is so great when it's fast is not so good when it's slow. What you also want to take into account is that the engine deals with overheating, and if you don't use Mac, which I don't, you have to make sure that you keep an eye on your temperatures and cool it down now and then. Now the good thing about that is that it cools down pretty quickly. So it overheats, but if you hold off on the web, even at 100%, the engine cools down very quickly. So it is a problem that is not really a problem. That wasn't too funny, but I mean, it is a fantastic plane. And these downsides that I'm talking about for this plane are just really, yeah, they are not too terrible. The overheating, like I said, it's not a problem. Yeah, so the plane also, and this is one of the major issues, is the energy retention is not too good compared to most of the planes it flies against. So it is not really the best energy fighter in a pinch. It is more of a boom and zoomer that can turn as well. It's bad in the vertical, because in the vertical it loses speed pretty quickly. And yeah, there's better planes like that. I mean, it's not terrible, but yeah, that's a weakness that you got to take into account. All in all, I would describe this plane after my experiences in it as a jack of all trades, not a specialist, and it can do a bit of everything. But that also has some downsides, thus that it is not the most efficient boom and zoomer because of the energy retention. It is not the best energy fighter because of the energy retention, but it does have good climb rate, and so it can function in it a little bit, but against a good energy fighter you'll get killed immediately, and as a turner it is pretty good, but once it gets slow you will get outturned by the dedicated turners. So you can defeat planes that are not specialist in a certain areas with this plane, but when you meet a specialist you have to look at the other roles the plane can do. So when you meet a turn fighter you gotta look at your dive speed. When you meet a boom and zoomer you gotta look at your turning, and so I mean you gotta be a bit tactical with this plane when you face opponents. But all in all, that's a lot of fun, and the plane thus has a lot of strengths which you can work with. It has fantastic armaments which with which you can finish off the planes that you're fighting. It's good at head-ons. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the plane. And if you ask me, like, this is a pretty hefty price, right? I mean, 30 euros for this plane. Is it worth it? And if you would ask me, I'd say yeah. This plane is definitely worth it. I already unlocked 3 planes in tier 3 with this plane in a very limited amount of matches. So I was stunned by that. How fast it goes. In realistic battle it is no surprise to get 12,000 research points. So crazy amounts, fantastic. Here we meet another YouTuber, Felici. That's a guy also with a pretty nice YouTube channel. He flies a lot of jets, and I met him in this AB match, which was quite nice. Good pilot, and we were going into a little bit of a dogfight here. First I wanted to see if I could outrun him, but he's going into a little bit of a dive here to pick up some speed. Of course, after the initial encounter in which I almost got guns on target but not quite, I didn't have the right lead and he made a good move there. He had to turn after that, I went straight on, so I should hold more energy, but he is gaining now because of that dive. I still hold pretty good speed though, and here we are already on the same speed as him. So I'm gonna take him into the vertical and gonna try to stall him out, as we seem to hold the better energy right now. Of course this is a risk, but yeah, you gotta take risks to defeat pilots like this. If we get out of this alive, then we may have an advantage. We're rolling and we do get a glancing hit in the engine, which then transfers onto the tail. That shot of his. But we now should be able to get some guns on targets here. And yeah, we do get a hit in on him. And we do overshoot, and we give him a mini second of a window to get some shots in, but he didn't even shoot, so he wasn't aware I was passing by that quickly. And here we do get a fantastic shot on him as he stalls himself out, and we get the kill. Now in the rest of the match he went low and I stayed high, so we stayed out of each other's hairs, and we both could get some good kills in. I believe in the end he ended with 5 kills and I ended with 7 kills. But that was a nice fight to start off with. Here comes the doe. There's several other fighters spawning. Of course in arcade you have these 320mm, which is fantastic to concentrate on bombers and stop them, and then maneuver towards fighters who are going after allies and stuff like that. It's magnificent. It's great as a boom and zoomer. The energy retention of course is better here with the buffed flight model. Although all planes have that of course, but you have a little bit more to work with, which make this plane an excellent boom and zoomer in arcade. And it excels a little more at the other roles as well. You can do a lot with this plane in arcade. As I only flew one match in arcade and it was a 7-0, so I mean you don't usually do that in your first flight in a mode. But this plane basically has everything. There's no getting used to anything, as like I said, this plane feels very much like a German 109. Which I have flown extensively lately, as you have seen, from the K4 to the G6 to the G10 and so on. We flew a lot of them lately, and to a great amount of gratitude from you guys, because you guys have really enjoyed watching the BF109 series, as I flew a lot of them and I got a lot of likes on and a lot of views on those reviews as well. So people are flying BF109s a lot, or wanting to know how to fly them. Of course, the 109s are always in a little bit of a pinch when they face a lot of Spitfires and what to do with Spitfire, so I think that's one of the reasons why those reviews are watched so much. And this plane definitely feels like one. Very nice plane, the G55, and if you want to get the Italian 3 unlocked quickly, this is the plane you want for that job. Seriously. Or a talisman on one of the other G55 could be a good choice as well, if you don't have 30 euros laying around. Then a well-placed talisman is a good thing as well. There's also the G56 to consider, but I haven't flown that yet. But if that is similar to this one, or maybe even slightly better, then that is also something to go for. To unlock the jets, for example. That thing sits at 5.3, I believe. We do not get this Spitfire in the first pass, but he goes for an ally and we manage to get on his tail pretty quickly to finish him off. We have a few planes that have spawned and came after us. We climbed away a little bit and then we turned in, and now we have a choice for which plane to go for. But that's the end of the match. We win this match. We have 7 kills and 1 assist, and we are 7th with that. Oh, ground target rewards are funny. But if you get a lot of them, you know. 58,000 silver lions and 7,000 research points. 7th in the match. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now, enjoyable plane all in all. This plane really feels like a German, and but with 3 MG 151 20mm cannons, this thing has improved firepower, and it's agile. It is fast in a dive, a good climber, good acceleration. The maneuverability when fast is great, roll rate as well. It can even surprise Spitfires, like I said. The armament is fantastic. When it gets slow though, the maneuverability suffers as well, so you want to be aware of that. A little bit of overheating with the plane, not too bad. And bad in the vertical, with a bad energy retention, but it's not the worst. All in all, a jack of all trades, not a specialist, and can do a bit of everything. You can face pretty much every plane by countering its roll and going into another roll. This plane does everything pretty decent, and is definitely worth the buy. If you want to get the Italian 3 unlocked pretty quickly, then you gotta go for the G55. I already got a lot of things unlocked with 12,000, 11,000 research points per game. Fantastic. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.